Hey everybody, this is John here with the Creature Teacher, and today we are going to be taking care of and feeding one of our snakes. This particular snake, his name is Rojo Grande, or Big Red. There he is. He is a boa constrictor, and this is not a BCI, this is a BCC, so this is a boa constrictor. This is not the common northern boa, which is also known as a BCI. That's called the boa constrictor imperator, or boa imperator, which was considered a subspecies of this particular snake. Now it's considered a separate species. This is a true boa constrictor here, and we're going to be taking care of him. He is going to be eating, but first off, we'll take a look at his house. Here's his house. This is a big, giant, long tank. He's got a nice piece of wood in here that he can kind of move up against. A lot of this aspen snake bedding. Make sure if you use bedding for a snake that it is good for snakes. Don't use pine shavings or pine chips. That can, I'm just kind of spreading this out, smoothing it out a little bit. He tends to bunch it up, have big open spots. You want to make sure that they don't use pine shavings with them. Pine shavings, the oils can irritate snakes. It's not good for their skin, their scales. And get that all down nice in there. So now when you do have a snake, you do want to check the whole area, make sure they haven't gone to the bathroom anywhere, anything like that. He has not. He tends to go to the bathroom in his water dish. His water dish is this right here. It's just a big giant plastic tub. We'll be putting that in there in a minute. In fact, let's just carry it over there right now. Pick it up. There we go. Walk over here. Set it in. There we are. And of course, this is on the cool side of the tank. The hot side is over there. It does have under tank heat, and he also got a night heat bulb right there, so it's nice and warm in the evening for him. There we go. All right. Now this is the fun part. Cleaning his tank is really pretty easy, honestly, his enclosure. The hard part is the fun part that we're going to be doing, feeding him. So he is eating here we have a frozen thawed rat. This is thawed in the refrigerator overnight, and this is some very lukewarm water. It's just warm to the touch, and all that's doing is just kind of, it's not defrosting this rat, it is just warming up the body temperature. Kind of makes it also smell a little bit more alive. And when we feed them, we like to put them in a nice big tub like this. When we feed our snakes, we want to put them in something that is not what they live in. We don't want them to get used to striking out of their house or anything like that. So we put them in this nice big tub. If you have a snake, this is generally the recommended way to do it. That way they're not used to having a feeding response when you open their enclosure. That can happen sometimes. So just for safety reasons, this is the better way to do it. They usually do stuff like this at a lot of zoos and wildlife places. Now, we do frozen thawed when possible. Not all snakes will do it immediately. So if you are planning on purchasing a snake as a pet, one good thing to ask a breeder or pet store is what type of feeding do they do? Do they do live feeding? Do they do frozen thawed feeding? Because if they do live, guess what? You're going to have to buy live rodents. And that can be difficult, especially if you don't want to see a live animal get squeezed to death. So we do frozen thawed. This is also a safer method for the snake itself. If you can't figure it out on your own, rodents, rats, mice don't like to be eaten alive. You wouldn't, they don't either. So they will at times try to defend themselves. So if you do a live feeding, you can't just go to your snake's enclosure and chuck the mouse or rat in there and then walk away, because the rat or mouse might attack your snake and kill it. They have sharp teeth, they have sharp claws, they can go for it and try to defend themselves. So this is just a safer way to do it. It's kind of odd when your freezer has a bunch of rats in it and a bunch of mice in it, but you know, that's what we got to do to feed and take care of these guys. So as always, do not pick these up with your hands. Pick it up with a good pair of tongs. These are just some cheap barbecue tongs. They are not the best. They don't have the greatest grip in the world, but I'm not trying to flip this on the grill or something like that. All I'm doing is picking this up I can get it out of the bag first. Jeez. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. I usually like to grip him by the tail. Here we go. Pull it out. There we are. Okay. We'll come over here and we'll lift up this lid. And there he is. We'll kind of get this down. Now, he may not strike this the first time. He might, he may not. Sometimes he's a bit picky. There we go. And there we go. So he is even though this is a dead rat, this is just the natural response. They bite, hold on with their mouth, and then wrap their body around it. And after about 5 or 10 minutes or so, he'll begin the process of swallowing it. So we'll just give him some time. If he starts to swallow it, then if he's starts swallowing it, I'll try to get a video of that so you guys can see that process. It is kind of a long process and it does look pretty weird. But there you go. So this is got to meet Rojo Grande today. I'm trying to do some more videos about him later, talk about him a bit more. But thanks for tuning in. This is John with the Creature Teacher. Feel free to like and subscribe, share the videos, and as always, check out our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages. All right, see you guys later.